Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Pure Biology, and today I come with the second part of the embryogenesis. In the first part I have explained about how the globular stage is formed. That means globular stage of what? Globular stage of embryo, and how this globular stage of embryo is formed I have explained in the first part of the embryogenesis, so you just check out that one. And this is the second part of the embryogenesis, where the globular stage, this is starting from the globular stage, and then how the developments occur, and then here the types of endosperm, these are also explained in this video. So what is saying that after the formation of the globular stage, what will happen with the globular stage? So generally when the embryo remains in the globular stage, it has three domains, or it divides into three domains. What are the three domains? The three domains are, one is the central domain, first one is the apical domain, and the last one, that is the basal domain. Clear? So three domains form, cell divides to form the three domains. Now which are called them? That means which domains, which part of the embryo known as these domains. So top and the bottom halves of the embryo, that corresponds to the apical and the central domain. That means here the rough diagram, that is this is the apical domain, and this is the central domain, and this, the last portion of the embryo, this is called the basal domain. Clear? So the apical and the central domain generally form from the top and the bottom half of the embryo. Now the uppermost cell of the basal derivatives, the hypophysis, that constitutes the basal domain. So basal domain remain where? The basal domain that remain in the hypophysis region. Okay, hypophysis region, or you can say that uppermost cell of the basal derivatives. That means basal parts, its upper region, that constitute the basal domain. And SAM is the short form of the stem apical meristem, and RAM short form is the root apical meristem. Clear? So shoot apical meristem or the stem apical, whatever it may be, the shoot apical meristem and most of the cotyledons, that derive from where? That derive from the apical domain. So apical domain that gives rise to the cotyledons and the shoot apical meristem. And the second, the part of the some parts of the cotyledons and the hypocotyle, then the radicle and the part of the root apical meristem, that come from the central domain, okay, or that rise from the central domain. And the quiescent center and the root apical meristem and the root cap, these are developed from the basal domain. So three domains have the three different functions. The first, that apical domain, that form the cotyledons and the shoot apical meristem, and the central domain that give rise hypocotyle, radical, and part of root apical meristem and part of cotyledons, etc. And the basal domain that helps to give rise the root apical meristem and the root cap. And there are two types of pattern. One is the axial pattern and the radial pattern. So what are these patterns? I have already explained. So this radial pattern now starts. Okay, the radial pattern of tissue differentiation that starts in the globular embryo. So when the globular embryo form, then the radial patterning of the tissues that differentiation of the tissues in the radial pattern, that will occur or that will continue. As cell division continues in the globular embryo, the periclinial division that separate the embryo into three radially defined regions. So in the radial patterning, the cell division that occurs in the periclinial way. Okay, this is occurred in the periclinial way, and here three structures develop. What are that? The outer protoderm, the middle ground meristem, and the inner procambium. Clear? So what are that? One is the outer one, that is called the protoderm, the middle part, that is called the ground meristem, and the inner part, that is called the procambium. Now, the protoderm, what is the function of the protoderm? Protoderm function is what? The protoderm, that is the meristem, and that give rise to the epidermis. From the protoderm, what will arise? The epidermis will arise. And the ground meristem, that produce what? That produce the cortex or future cortex and endoderms. And the procambium, that gives rise to the primary vascular tissue and the vascular cambium. Clear? So, first one, that protoderm, that gives rise, these are all the meristematic tissue, that's why the cell divides, that give rise to the epidermis, and the ground meristem, that give rise the cortex and the endoderms, and the procambium, that give rise that primary vascular tissue and the vascular cambium. Okay. So the globular shape that lost, this is the globular shape, this is the globular shape, and but here you can see it is just like heart shaped embryo. Why this become heart shaped embryo? This globular shaped embryo is seen in the monocotyledons, but in case of dicotyledons, the two cotyledons are formed, and that's why the shape become changes into the heart shape. Clear? So dicots have the two cotyledons, and that give rise the embryo bilateral symmetry. So here you can see that bilateral symmetry, okay, not the radial symmetry. This is the radial symmetry, this is the radial symmetry, but here the bilateral symmetry is seen, and that's why the shape is the heart shape. And which hormone generally helps in this transition of the radial symmetry to the bilateral symmetry of the embryo? That is the auxin. Clear? This auxin hormone generally helps in the transition process. And so in that situation, slowly root apical meristem and shoot apical meristem, that will develop. And another important thing is that we all know that endosperm, generally the seeds which haven't the capacity to produce the cotyledons first, in that situation the seeds, they can gain their nutrition. Not only the dicotyledons and monocotyledons, generally all the seeds, they can gain the nutrition from the endosperm. Okay, they can gain the nutrition before the germination process from the endosperm. Clear? So here are three types of endosperm are seen. One is the nuclear endosperm, second one is the cellular endosperm, and third one is the halobial endosperm. So in case of nuclear endosperm, why it is called the nuclear endosperm? Because here the first and few subsequent divisions of the primary endosperm nucleus are not followed by the wall formation. That means these divisions of the nucleus, primary endosperm's nucleus division, that are not followed by the wall formation. Okay. In case of cellular, there the division followed by the wall formation. That means that after the wall formation, followed by the wall formation first start, then the divisions will occur. And in case of halobial, the first division, here the division of the nucleus is the result of wall formation. If the wall formation is occurred, then the nuclear division is occurred. Clear? So that means in two situations, the one division, the cells that will divide to form the wall, and the cell division that occur in the nucleus, that will occur simultaneously, or very few gap within the time. But in case of halobial, their first wall formation is occurred, and this is the due to the wall formation, then the nucleus division is seen. So these are the three types of the endosperm structures. And one important thing is that there is the outermost layer of the endosperm, that is called the aleuron layer, and this aleuron layer that containing some aleuron granules. Clear? Some aleuron granules. So here the topic only describes that how the embryo or the globular embryo that transit to the heart-shaped embryo, or you can say how the radial pattern some cases changes to the bilateral pattern. So axial pattern and the radial pattern both are explained in the two videos. So you just check out that one. And I think I will describe another important thing in the next video, that is the auxin and the cytokinins role in the cell division of the axial pattern formation and the radial pattern formation, that how they help I will try to explain in the next video. So you just check out that one. And obviously this is request to the newcomers. If you get the helpful information from my channel, so please you share and subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon always for getting the notifications of uploading videos. Clear?